So it's safe to say it's been a rather insane day around the league, with all kinds of legal cases reaching conclusions or getting updated in a pretty confusing manner. Today involves a current NFL player, an NFL hopeful, as well as a NFL draft pick. And in today's video, I'll break down what the heck is going on with each one of these situations and more right after. Alright, first up, let's start with Chiefs wideout Rashee Rice, and I'll try to keep it brief here. Roughly a month ago, Rice pled guilty to 2 third-degree felony charges from his car crash and flee situation back in the 2024 offseason. And after that happened, the expectation was he would start the 2025 NFL season suspended for roughly 4 to 6 games. That's at least what the Chiefs were preparing for, according to Albert Breer. Well, that changed this morning when it was announced Rice will likely be able to play the first 4 games of the season because he's expected to have his disciplinary hearing with the NFL on September 30th. The reason why this hearing is even taking place, by the way, is because Rice and the NFLPA had negotiations with the NFL on what the length of the suspension should be, and the parties involved could not even come to an agreement and settle on something. This most likely means the NFL wanted more than the NFLPA and Rice were comfortable with, and the numbers were still too far apart to even reach a compromised agreement, so they are now going to a hearing involving an independent arbitrator. And here's where it gets even more complex. Prior to the September 30th hearing, both parties, so Rice and the NFLPA and the league, can still reach an agreement. If that happens, a suspension announcement would follow soon after, and he could still start the season suspended if this happens quickly, or it could happen anywhere between weeks 1 through 4. If that doesn't happen, though, and they make it to the hearing on September 30th, the arbitrator involved could still take weeks after that to reach a decision of her own, and from there, Roger Goodell ultimately will make the final decision. So basically, Rice might not even be suspended until the back half of the season, right as the Chiefs are gearing up for the playoffs, and that's quite the switch up from even a couple days ago thinking Rice would probably start week 1 suspended and be back well within time to get adjusted for the playoffs and all that. It's a bit of a divisive topic talking about Rice because it was all seen on camera. Some thinks he should be suspended for quite a while, and maybe because he was on camera and you saw all that happen and he did plead guilty to 2 felony charges, the NFL's trying to kind of put the hammer down, but Rice and his side of things are probably like, if you're trying to give us anywhere from 8 to 10 games, that's not much more than Deshaun Watson or Justin Tucker, so we aren't liking that. Moving on, though, because speaking of Deshaun Watson, his team, the Cleveland Browns, have some updates worth talking about with not 1, but 2 players. For starters, running back Quinshon Judkins could reportedly return to the team here very soon. He is actually the only rookie that has yet to sign his rookie contract after being arrested over a month ago on a domestic violence battery charge. Last week, though, his attorney waived his right to a speedy trial, which had some people thinking that the legal process could take a long time to play out, but we got a big update today when it was reported that Quinshon will not face any formal charges as prosecutors have declined to move forward with the case. Jordan Schultz reported that this clears the way for him to return to the team, and he was told that should happen in the near future. Apparently, the decision to not move forward with the case was decided by prosecutors after reviewing police records, body-worn camera videos, video surveillance, photos, phone records, and the sworn statement of the woman he allegedly struck. The photo evidence the alleged victim provided that showed injuries sustained contradicted with videos of the victim at the same time frame, and therefore, the prosecutors determined there is no reasonable likelihood of conviction, and this case is being declined. So now, the Browns should be working with Judkins on getting his contract signed here very soon. Though it is worth mentioning the NFL will continue its own investigation here. So basically, I can't completely rule out the possibility of some sort of a suspension taking place. We'll just have to wait and see what the NFL decides to do, because at times they are rather unpredictable with this stuff, and error on the side of some sort of a suspension when the case involves SA or DV. That's obviously going to provide a boost to their running back room, but believe it or not, they're trying to add to their wide receiver room as well, because they could be signing the former Texas Longhorn wideout Isaiah Bond. Just like Judkins, Bond was involved in a legal case, but he too just found out today that he will not be facing any further criminal charges. In his instance, he was facing a sexual assault charge from an incident that allegedly took place back in April. He had a warrant out for his arrest and actually turned himself in. From there, he posted bail and said the claims made against him were patently false. He basically said over time, the claims made against him will prove to be just that. Even with that statement made, though, teams decided to steer clear of the situation, and Bond went undrafted and to this day is still a free agent. More on that here in a second. But yeah, had the legal question marks not been there, he likely would have been a day 2 pick, a second or third rounder, depending on which mock draft that you looked at. And over the last few months, we really hadn't heard much about Isaiah Bond or his case until today. That's where a grand jury returned a no bill in the sexual assault charge, meaning that no indictment will be issued and the charges against him were being dropped. The Collin County DA issued a statement saying this concludes the criminal proceedings in this matter. So with that situation recently behind, it meant some team might be interested enough to try and take a flyer on him. And honestly, it didn't take very long at all because Bond released a statement late this afternoon making it seem like the Cleveland Browns signed him. He thanked them for giving him an opportunity to continue his career in the NFL. He said from the beginning he refuted the claims made against him and maintained his innocence and still stands firm by that today. He then added he's determined to prove the Browns organization and everyone who believes in him right for putting their trust in him. Well, that, of course, had some raising their eyebrows like, okay, the Browns are at it again. I mean, they're definitely at least not afraid to take chances on talented players like this that get caught up in some off-the-field issues. With that being said, though, Browns beat reporter for Cleveland.com, Mary Kay Cabot, made a clarification. She said the Browns are doing their diligence on the former Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond, but he hasn't signed yet, and it's not happening today, per sources from within the building. If they do sign Bond, though, it makes sense because outside of Jerry Jeudy, who had 1,200 yards last year, they also have Njoku, a great tight end, but their receiving room is kind of, I don't know, a big question mark, at least to me. They did add Deontay Johnson. Good luck with that. Then Cedric Tillman and Jamari Thrash both had less than 400 yards combined in 2024. So Bond will provide a definite boost to that room if they do sign him, and that man can fly. He ran a 4.39 40-yard dash at the combine, which was the 9th fastest among all rookie wideouts. Between his 2 years at Bama and 1 season at Texas, he racked up over 1,400 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns throughout his collegiate career. So yeah, Judkins and Bond have essentially been cleared by the courts. Meanwhile, Rashee Rice is hoping for a lesser punishment via an independent arbitrator than the NFL is wanting to give him. We shall see what happens with Judkins and Bond here very soon. Judkins is going to sign his rookie deal, I'm assuming here, ASAP. And then Bond, will he sign with the Browns in the next couple of days? I'm assuming that it's pretty much done and he just kind of jumped the gun on releasing his statement. And then regarding Rice, we might be waiting for a couple months in that regard. So let me know your thoughts on all this either way in the comments down below. What do you think about the Browns taking another flyer here on Bond and the Judkins situation getting cleared up? And then what do you think happens with Rice? How many games do you think he ends up getting? Let me know all this either way in the comments down below. And with that, I'll see y'all next time.